Hey everyone, this is Spencer Bonin and Balwinder Marwaha again coming at you with Unlocking You 2.0 again. And this is day number 3 of 5, bringing you insights from the subconscious and the conscious side of things, the coaching and the emotional healing. So today's topic is all about releasing expectations like we've been talking about through the rest of the week. And we're specifically talking today about how to be present in the moment and being present in the moment. So, Bally, if you want to let us know, what are a couple things we can do to be present in the moment consciously?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Spencer. So being present, again, going back, this is all about expectations and releasing expectations. It's being able to do things without an ended expected result. It's without any disappointment or without, going in super pumped and like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. And then it disappoints you. So you want to let naturally the world flow to you however it's meant to be. And whether that's meant to be, some things are not as good as others, or some things are beyond your expectations, that's how it should be, is that really everything should be beyond your expectations because you had zero expectation. So what happens is that when we're not present, we tend to take the past and say, well, so yeah, last time I went there, man, this is what happened. It was so cool. I loved it. And you hype it up to your friends and you tell them all this great stuff. And then when you get there, it's like, oh man, what the heck? It wasn't as good today. But
Yeah.
here's the thing is because your friends had never experienced it, it was absolutely amazing to them. But
Hmm.
because you hyped it up so much, you felt it wasn't as good for you. However, they still felt that. Now, had you had not said anything and just gone in with just, hey, I enjoyed it last time. I'm going to go do it again. Let's see how it is. You probably would have had a good time, and your friends still would have had a good time. And I want to give you an example of this. Back in 2010, Gurneet, my wife and I, we went on a cruise. And we went on, at the time, the largest cruise ship in the world. This thing was insane. It had 23 floors. It's like almost 6,000 guests. Like it was absolutely, it was insane to the point where on a 1 week cruise, I gained 9 pounds. Okay. That's how insane it was. So
That's all you can
for
eat,
me,
yeah.
that was my standard. That was my expectation for every cruise now. And what
Mm,
happened is, fast forward a few years, I now have a 9-month-old daughter. It's her first time cruising. We're taking Gurneet, my wife's parents, and her sister and family with us. And, we've pumped it up. We're like, man, cruises are the best things ever. And man, we had so much fun and the food was so good. And we did this and that. And, we pumped it up like crazy because we were so excited to go again. And we had this huge expectation that it was going to be so much fun. Well, here's what happened is the cruise ship we went out of New York. So in New York, you can't go on really big ships. They're a little bit smaller because the port's smaller. So it was a bit of a smaller ship. Then we had some rough seas. And then because it was a smaller ship in a different company, the level of service wasn't as high as we expected. The food was a bit different. The shows were different. And so here's the thing, though. At the end of that week-long cruise, all of the family had an absolutely incredible time because
mm,
they had never experienced a cruise. And to them, it was like, wow, that was like one of my best vacations ever. Like, that was great.
yeah.
And Gurneet and I were like, man, it wasn't as good as the last one. Like, we enjoyed the last one more, but it's because we went in with expectations. Had we
Right.
not gone in with expectations and we had just said, hey, let's just go, we're going to be present. We're going to enjoy each day on the cruise, however it comes at us. We're going to enjoy each activity, however it comes. We would have enjoyed it and everything would have been great. Now, I'm not saying we didn't have fun. We did have a great time,
Hmm.
but we were, it gave us a reason to be like, it wasn't as good. And you don't want to give yourself that reason. So stay in the moment. Don't go on past experiences and don't live too much in the future either. Don't be like, hey, man, I'm so excited because tomorrow this is going to happen. Well, here's the
Yeah.
reality. Tomorrow never comes. And
Mm.
yes, you may have big plans with your friends and you're excited about going on those plans tomorrow, or you've got something big coming up. Maybe it's a birthday or an anniversary or something special. And you're excited about that. But that doesn't mean that you don't make the best out of today and truly enjoy today and make it wonderful and live in each moment today because
Mm.
today is the present. It is a gift. It
Yeah.
is what you have and it's what will absolutely shape the future. But if you have expectations from the future, and you're not really living in today and really enjoying today, then you're not going to be happy today. You're always going to be waiting for tomorrow to be happy, or for tomorrow to give you that satisfaction. But the thing is tomorrow never comes.
Mm,
So with that said, be present, live in the moment, live in today, and just go into everything with zero expectations. Go into it
yeah.
as an experience, as it's going to be the best day of your life, absolutely every day. With that said, Spencer, what happens? So I said all this. I got you all pumped up. You're excited. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to expect anything anymore. And then it's like, oh, you get hit with this brick wall. What? Why? What happens?
Absolutely. And you talking about that makes me think about an experience of my own. Like I'm a lover of music, and one of my favorite things, like I really enjoy electronic music quite a bit. And a while back, I was kind of into like the whole electronic music festival scene. And
Mm-hmm.
I seen a couple of like little places here and there, little shows, and then I had decided to go to EDC, or Electric Daisy Carnival. It's like this
Yeah,
massive
yeah,
festival
in
in
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. And it's like when I went, I think it was like the 20th year anniversary. It was just like bananas, like fireworks
Yeah.
every night, just like crazy stuff. The stages there's 7 stages, and like it was just nuts. And I went there, we did this road trip. It was a whole thing. And
Mhm.
now just thinking about it, I was just like, you know what? I don't even like I don't go to shows anymore because I'm like, oh, there's no way that it can compare. No way.
Yeah,
And so it's like it's making me think even right now, guess what? We're not all perfect. I still do the same thing, but it's a matter of being aware and present about it, right?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
so yeah, I totally relate to that, and you're not alone in that whole stuff. But what really does happen? And so one thing I want to talk about too is there's one really awesome book in a couple of different ways we can do this, but one book that I want to talk about, which I'm sure a lot of people know about, it's called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Mhm.
It talks all about being, in the present, and being in the now, and how to do that. There's lots of great quotes. It's an amazing, amazing book. So I definitely recommend checking that out. But emotion code and body code wise, you're absolutely right. Like we have these experiences, and maybe it's not so positive, right? Like maybe we have an event where maybe we started a business and it cratered. Maybe it just blew up in our face, right? At the last second, or someone betrayed us, or
Yes.
something like that. Or maybe we got humiliated in front of a group of people, so now we don't want to go in front of groups of people. So there could be a couple of trapped emotions of failure. You're like, I
Mhm.
automatically think I'm going to fail. You might have some low self-esteem in there. You might have some unworthy, where you feel like you don't deserve it. You feel like you're just not good enough in some way. So
Mhm.
those are very real trapped emotions that get triggered, like before you even leave your house, before you leave your bed. You're
Yeah.
already just like, oh, I'm think like these things are triggering, and you're before you even want to go out there. Now,
Mhm.
on top of that, in the body code, there's a multitude of different things that could be going on as well. But a couple of that's really stick out is this thing that I've talked about before called despair anchors. So a despair anchor, like we've talked about before, is kind of like this negative statement that's kind of circling in our subconscious brain, where it's kind of like due to a lot of negative self-talk, but it might be something that we say to ourselves all the time, or just something that really resonates. But it's this thing, it's like a heat-seeking missile, and your mind tries to find it and locate it and hit that target without you even realizing it. So, and it's like a negative self-fulfilling prophecy. And there's a couple in here that I just really think would really apply to this. And one, you might have a despair anchor that says everything is scary just by default. Like in your subconscious mind, it's like, oh no, that's scary, I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go out. Or maybe you have this, maybe you have something that says I ruin everything. Maybe someone told you back in the day, oh, you ruined everything, boom, you started thinking about it negatively all the time, got it implanted in your head. Now you think you ruin everything, so you don't want to go out anymore, and that automatically makes you think, I don't want to go. Or similar to the first one, everything is scary. Maybe you just have this thing as, I'm afraid to leave my house, I'm afraid to do anything, I'm afraid to save money, I'm afraid to do this and that.
Yeah.
It's all these different things, and there's lots of more that we could get into, but those are a few things that are just kind of happening in the back end that are preventing you from living in this moment truly to the fullest right now. So with that, that's all I have to say about that. Did you have anything else you'd like to say, Valley?
No, absolutely. That was perfect because again, if you've got this despair anchor, and it's really hard to live in today because you're always going to be thinking about the past or the future and how that relates. So to live in the moment becomes very difficult, and that's what we want to release and let go of. So if you want to release some of this emotional baggage, because we all have it, including myself, I had it and I got rid of lots. I still have some. It's just part of life.
Hmm.
That's something that you want to release, connect with us. Spencer will be more than happy to do a complimentary emotion code or body code session on you to
Yeah.
give you an idea of what we can find and what we can release from you.
Yeah.
And if consciously you're like, okay, well, I really want to let go of expectations, I want to set up a path or a system, connect with me. I'll give you a complimentary coaching session and coach you on how to get away from living with expectations. And together we'll be able to make a big difference in your life. Now, if you really like what we talk about and you enjoy this and you want more of this,
Hmm.
then go to this website because this is absolutely for you. InsideOutCoachingProgram.com. You'll watch a couple of great videos that will give you a glimpse of what life can be like once you go on this journey with us. And then if you want even more information, there's two things. Either get back in touch with us or this Thursday night, we have an awesome, awesome webinar happening. It's called 2020recoverymanual.com. Go to that website, register. Space is limited.
Hmm.
We have a capacity of 100 guests. Last week, we were at almost at capacity. So you definitely want to register early, otherwise you're not going to get a seat.
Yeah.
Um, During that webinar, we're going to talk about how you can get away from the biggest problems you have in your life, how
Yeah.
you can change your life and turn it around, and really make the rest of 2020 the best year you've ever had, even though 2020 has been quite the disaster. And then the rest of your life being absolutely amazing with lots of clarity and filled with success and happiness. So if that's something that you would like, connect with us, visit those sites, and we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of Unlocking You 2.0.
Absolutely.